As we know, India's importance in today's geopolitical scenario has taken everyone by surprise. After Russia's special military operation against Ukraine, the world's geopolitics has changed and it has become very complicated and difficult. The global food supply chain is crashing down. The chances of famine is increasing every passing day. Every nation of the world facing stagflation. That also includes United States. But in this tumultuous moment, the world has found out its investment destination, which provides investors sign of relief. And that destination is India. Because of that, India received highest ever FDI inflow in the financial year of 2021-2022. India has overtaken the previous financial year by $1.65 billion despite the Ukrainian war and COVID-19 pandemic. The last year, Indian foreign direct investment inflow to India was around $81.72 billion. But now this year, this figure touched $83.57 billion. This data has been released by Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. And this department comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We are all witnessing India has become investment destination for the world. Most of the investment coming to India is in the manufacturing sector. The investment in manufacturing sector has increased by 76%. The last year FDI in the manufacturing sector was $12.09 billion. But this year it is $21.34 billion. The increase is about $9 billion. According to the data, the FDI inflow has increased by 23% post-COVID pandemic. March 2020 to 2022 registered inflow of $171.84 billion against $141.10 billion between February 2018-2020. So you can clearly see the increase in the FDI inflow. The increase is $30 billion or more than $30 billion. Speaking of which, Singapore topped the charts of the India's maximum FDI inflow with 27% share. Second position is occupied by USA with 18% share. Third place goes to Mauritius with 16% share. We do not need to mention that how big the India's IT industry is. We all know that the India is one of the largest IT exporter of the world. That's why the computer software and the hardware remain the top sector which received the FDI inflow with around 25% share, followed by service sector and the automobile sector getting 12% each. In the computer hardware and the software sector, Karnataka received 53% of total FDI, which is highest because Karnataka's capital Bengaluru is the Silicon Valley of India. Every renowned organization has chosen and choosing Bengaluru as their investment destination. In IT, the joint second position goes to Delhi and Maharashtra. Then their respective share is 17% of total FDI each. Karnataka is also the top recipient state with 38% share of total FDI equity inflow reported during the previous financial year, followed by Maharashtra with 26% and Delhi with 14%. Majority of the equity inflow of Karnataka has been reported in the sectors which is computer software and hardware, which is 35%, and the next automobile industry 20%, and the last one is educational sector with 12%. We are clearly seeing that the equity inflow is in the computer hardware and software sector because India's software sector, as I said, is one of the topmost sector of India and it is one of the topmost of the world. Although this may be the true for the Karnataka in IT and the equity sector, but in overall FDI inflow, Gujarat topped the list. The Gujarat received 37% of total FDI inflows out of all states in the country with 27%. Maharashtra comes second. With 13%, Karnataka comes third. According to the latest data, the Gujarat received 1.77 lakh crore of FDI, followed by Maharashtra, which received 1.53 lakh crore, and Karnataka comes third with 78,160 crore, and Delhi occupied the fourth spot. Tamil Nadu and the Jharkhand occupied the 7th and the 8th spot, attracting investment worth 19,734 crore and the 19,200 crore respectively. Since Prime Minister Modi came to power, he tried to encourage all Indians to open entrepreneurs to improve the Indian economy. Because of that, Indian government has already launched IMET program to assist Indian entrepreneurs along with the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana to encourage the Indians to come forward and to open an organizations. And the Prime Minister efforts has already gave us the tremendous results. India achieved its first goal by launching 100 unicorn in 2021. Unicorn is a business term used to define a startup with the valuations of over $1 billion. So India has achieved a term which is very important for Indian economy. So in this very volatile world, other nations are choosing India's neutrality over biasing. That is why India is becoming the investment destination hub of the world. This is the end of the topic. Now the questions. The first question is, the technical and economical cooperation is associated with which ministry? The first option is Ministry of Finance. Second option is Ministry of External Affairs. Third option is Ministry of Science and Technology. Fourth option is Ministry of Electronics and IT. The second question is, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed has been selected as the next president of which country? First option is South Africa. Second option is France. Third option is Somalia. Fourth option is Algeria. So this is the end. If any one of you have any questions or any kind of inquiry about any topic which I have uploaded, then you can contact me through my email address, which is tuhin.power.academy@gmail.com. So thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And if you find it interesting, then go and like my video.